there a motion to approve the agenda as
Yeah.
motion by Ted, is there a second? Devin, roll call vote. Mike, Pam, Jim, Deputy Sheriff is not here.
Price before I
Please
realized
review the minutes of the June 10th
and
meeting.
then I got into it. Like, we're
After
gonna
reviewing,
renegotiate next time.
if you have any questions or edits, please indicate, and the chair will entertain a motion in a second to approve the minutes.
Can I ask one question? The motion by Sheeple, second by Jefferson to contribute 10,000, that was pledged 10,000, not contributed, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
When will we know if they got their grant?
That was not said. Right, they needed everything back at once, if they needed pledged.
There's a motion to approve the minutes with the change of the word contribute to pledge. Is that correct? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ted, roll call vote. Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam? Yes. Minutes have been approved as edited. Please review the financial report for June. After reviewing, if you have any questions, please ask. And then the chair will entertain a motion in a second to approve the financial report.
When it's all been paid for, everything's done, right?
Motion by Devin to approve the financial report for June. Is there a second? Mike, roll call vote. Ted?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pam? Yes. Financial report for June has been approved as printed. Please review the bills for June. And again, after you have questions, please ask. And then we will entertain a motion in a second to approve the bills.
The grand total was not great. I'm sorry, this is a mess. got the boundary after I did it, and rural water, and then Liberty and Liscomb that we're paying, so it didn't print out on here, because I don't have it in the system yet.
What's boundary, I always forget.
First responders supplies. So, I'm just gonna start over and give you a good total.
Didn't we pay to have the tractor fixed last month?
We just, it didn't actually get paid till after that meeting, so now it's showing up. You just approved it, yes, we could pay it.
Mosquito was less than a bottle beer.
Yeah, it hadn't gone up.
Is that our final payment to Laura, the attorney?
Yes. Grand total is $32,833.11.
And that's still just those three dishes, right?
Forestry, rural water, Liberty, and Liscomb.
Let's
Yes.
pull out the landfill bill and let the Liberty and Liscomb Fund pay that.
Oh, the 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that fireworks, darling?
Yeah.
So the other ones postage paid, that's the ones for the water representatives, so that must be a huge supply of them.
Yeah, I get 500 at a time. And that was a box of envelope, or window envelopes of plain, just regular envelopes. I buy a box of those maybe once every year and a half, for the plain ones, I don't use them very often.
At 3,003 for Schulo Insurance, that was just for,
That was just for Liberty.
just
That
for
just-
Liberty.
yeah.
Okay. Somebody was asking me and I said around 2,500, so I was wrong.
Well, that's what it's been.
That's what it was, yeah, okay.
It was 2,700 actually for the policy, but by the time you get all the fees in, they don't make enough, I guess, on the actual policy to fight on every dollar.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
There's a motion by Ted to pay Liberty, second by Pam. Roll call vote. Ted?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
Stephanie? Residents' concerns? Who would like to start?
I see on the agenda, you're gonna talk about fireworks ordinance. So I would suggest maybe like 4 days a week, or 4 nights a year, the night of the 4th, the day of our celebration, Christmas and New Year's. My dog just went nuts this last month for the fireworks. And then I was also wondering if we could do anything about semis parking on State Street.
What did you say, Cam, the 4th and?
The 4th, the day of our celebration, Christmas and New Year's. So it could be 4 times a year, or it could end up being only 3 times a year, depending on when Liberty and Liscomb falls on the 4th or.
You done over there?
Yeah, I was,
Then what? Then you have
The
the
semi.
semi parking on State Street.
parking on State Street, what's wrong with the parking?
Well, they pull up at all hours of the night. Would you like to live next to, with your windows open, and have a semi pull up at 1 o'clock in the morning and sit there and run for an hour and a half?
Oh, people parking illegal.
I leave mine open, they drive by all night long.
Yeah, they do.
You know?
Yeah, they do. It's different driving by than sitting right outside your window, running for an hour and a half.
I don't think they can.
I don't think legally they can park
I
them.
don't
They legally they
think
can't,
can
but I talked to the cops and they said we have to have a no parking sign put up in order for them to enforce it.
Next, are you done, Kim? Yes.
Justin Love, 201 State Street. I just want to say, I think the festivities look like they went pretty good. I think the town looks pretty good. I think we should all be happy about that. I appreciate everything everybody's contributed, and that we got to enjoy the parade. It was a good time. We're pretty busy that week. We got a lot of stuff in our family. My boy's birthday, we were actually celebrating that day, so we had stuff to tend to. Once again, I think I heard less fireworks this year than last year, honestly, for all given days when they've been let off. My dog goes nuts. He's a bigger dog too. He runs around the house barking his head off every single time someone lights him off. And honestly, I haven't lit off a single one again this year. We haven't participated, but I am not in favor of restricting the fireworks any more than what the state law has already put into effect. So, what is it, the weekend before and the weekend after?
No, it starts June 1st to July 8th. There goes
No, the light them off.
From what, 10 in the morning until 10 at night?
That seems pretty reasonable. It's like the weekend before and the weekend after.
No, June 1st to
They
July
can sell them,
8th.
I don't think you're supposed to light them off.
And then December 10th through January 6th. That's the state law.
Yeah, well, either way, I haven't heard hardly any this year, honestly. People let them go pretty good on the weekend nights. I didn't hear anybody do them too late. I think there was probably a couple of people who let them off later than 10 or 11, but you're never gonna stop that. And honestly, I mean, you make it illegal, you're gonna give people more of a reason to do it. Just for one thing, they know they're getting your goat, they're gonna do it. And I mean, you know, I don't know. I think everything's pretty good. I don't have a problem with anything. I hate to see anybody be restricted when, you know, I mean, I can see if there's a whole bunch of people up here complaining because it's such a big deal, but I don't think we have that. And I can see you guys' time spent on things that really aren't that big a deal, I guess. But appreciate everything.
Next, John.
What I'm here for is an ash tree up by my place. It was a dead ash tree, and I called her and asked her about it. She said, take it down. And I got a hold of the tree guy in Marshalltown, and he come and took it down. And he also took the stump out. And so the other day, I went and I got a list here of from the people that do surveying property. And he gave me a list, showed me a picture of it, and that tree is on the city side of the sidewalk. And the guy told me that does the surveying, he said, well, that tree is on the city side and the city is responsible. And the hole from the stump is still there.
Anything else, John?
No, that's it, thank you.
Any other,
Ed Burrows, 208 Sherman. Appreciate the new gravel in the alley. Looks good. The fireworks, yeah, I agree. This year, I mean, I heard them a few days, but people were actually pretty cool about it, finishing it up by 10 or so at night. Noticed the tree being down too. I really appreciate that, considering if it was gonna fall, it would have been on our house. And considering it was on city property, that would have been city liability. So I assumed that the city would be responsible for tearing it down. I looked into Marshalltown Code, and Marshalltown Code state, and Albion Code, as well as State Center Code, and they all state that if the tree is dead and needs to be cut down, it's on city responsibility. If the resident just wants it cut down, wants a healthy tree cut down, that's the resident's responsibility. But considering this tree was dead and a liability to both the property owner, a neighbor, and city infrastructure, that would be city responsibility. So, those are my thoughts. Appreciate you listening.
any other resident concerns?
Hank Penner, 308 State Street. I'll pile on with Justin. I thought the fireworks went really well. Well done, you guys. Really well done. And I'm not a fireworks person. If we didn't have any fireworks at all, that would not have bothered me at all. But they were rather well done. And I don't see the fireworks. It was a lot worse 4 or 5 years ago. And the other thing is passing an ordinance, all for good set of ordinances, but you know, if you're going to pass an ordinance, tell me how you're going to enforce it, and I'll support it. But I don't see us being able to support it.
Would you really want to get called up here chasing down fireworks?
Thank you.
Any other residents' concerns? Deputy, would you like to give your report? Come on up here to the table.
Say, well, I can be heard.
No, there's
I don't need any more cameras than that.
It's really hard
So,
to hear.
I'm quite sure I can make it heard. All right, for the month of June, this is your accountability of actions from law enforcement. You had 18 documented business checks, 35 patrol sessions, 10 park checks, and 1 member of our force was at your council meeting last month. You had 0 calls for service. That accounts for law enforcement interactions for this past month. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Your report didn't match on.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know why?
You gave us Gilman's.
Nope, I gave you Ferguson. So I apologize. That's why I appreciate that comment. All right, yeah, 26 documented business checks, 32 patrol sessions, 3 bar checks, one at the council meeting, 1 extra patrol, 1 speed message trailer deployment, 2 traffic stops, 1 warning and citation given. You had 5 calls for service. 1 dog at large, warning was given, a dog bite, a case was made involving that. Burglary, area was checked, but no one or things were reported. Mental health, subject was transported to the ER, and you had 1 wanted person check, which arrest was made. Does that sound a little bit better?
Yeah. That reads right.
Check, yes.
Any comments, concerns?
Question.
Yes.
When somebody's dog bites another human, what do the police do about it?
Take a report.
I mean, what?
Take a report.
And that's it? I thought back in the old times, they used to take the dog to the animal shelter.
We don't.
You know,
That's
for,
a plan.
I thought for, oh, okay.
We take a report, that report is forwarded to the Animal Rescue League per state policy, and the Animal Rescue League has their realms of responsibilities, such as that dog may have to be quarantined at home or at the rescue league, and that is how that would be. The dog owner may be the one that, or animal owner, because any animal is not just a dog, could have to take it out. That is not part of us. Okay? Ours is the report. By law, that's what we have to do. And then get it to the agency for them to do their statutory responsibilities. Now, where it may be different, if the shot records aren't up to date, yes, it could be, because regular could be a citation given for that. That is, the report part is ours. Okay?
I got one. It says burglary and area checked unable to locate. Is like a report made, there's nothing else done about that? I mean, I don't know, was like something actually stolen, do you know? Or it was just like they thought somebody was there?
I cannot answer that.
Okay, I just thought maybe there'd be a case or something, that's all.
If there was a case made, or that's why it would say a case made. So I can't really speak to, by going by this, I would say that there was a possible report of a burglary. Nobody was able to be found, possibly not even the owner of the property. So I can't really, given this, I can't tell you.
That'd be like, we have an alarm system, and if it goes
Yes.
off, then you come,
Yep.
and if we
Yes.
find out that, you know.
Because I'm coming there because you believe something, you got a motion that are going off inside the house, which would be predicate the burglary. Someone has entered a home. We come there and find out, now it could have been saying that there's a mechanical reason, but there would usually be an alarm call for that. So that's a little different, but yeah, you're correct, something like that could be why we wouldn't get a report.
Thanks.
Any other questions for the deputy? Thank you.
Right.
You can go to Ferguson now.
I've already been there, so that's why it sounded, it did sound kind of familiar when I
Did you
said
read the
it.
Liscomb report at Ferguson?
No, I did not.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, first order of business. Discussion on the sale of properties. And I believe that was put on to discuss the possibility of the property where the 4-H garden is. And I thought we had tabled the Dubuque Street until fall, but if you want to revisit that, we can do that as well. So what's the thinking on this? You want to start with the 4-H property down there by the co-op?
Why not sell?
Well, somebody was interested in it.
I would just
So I
assume
think you
keep
want-
it until after the trail. Would we have any purpose? I mean, I hate to make, it's gonna be right beside the trail.
I mean, the city sheds are too. That's a lot's really small, I don't know what you'd want to keep it for. Just
Throwing that out there.
I see no reason to keep it either, I guess.
Do they still use it?
Let's,
The garden?
let's have our discussion here with the council.
I don't think they haven't used that.
This is the first year they have them. Is they got,
I mean,
Darwin you planted some stuff down there, but looks like the
Spike deer.
rabbits and deer really,
we can just put a silent bid out here, or close bid.
And if somebody buys that, there's access to that, right? I mean,
Through the ditch.
through the.
Well, it depends on what you wanna sell. Are you gonna sell, turn back the railroad tracks, square it off, or what are you gonna do?
Just whatever's in line already, I'm sure. So it's just a little triangle lot on assessors, it isn't big.
But then, are you gonna make it where you sell it, they go back to the property line? And not come from that fence line, it's already there.
Tell me again,
That fence line, the neighbors
okay,
is on city property.
okay.
Okay, now, if we sell that triangle piece off, are we going back to the property line, or are we gonna sell it out to the fence line?
There's a lot of things over lines here in town.
You've got to go back to the property line, or you'd have to have it resurveyed or whatever, right? For the legal description?
Yeah.
Okay, but we're just talking about the land itself, so that's all I'm not talking about.
See, if they buy that little chunk of ground, you're gonna lose 8 foot of that ground with the fence line in.
Don't understand what you're.
It's just a little lot.
Well, we won't lose what the street takes up. Although we have no telling us how wide our streets are. Got nothing.
See, that fence line,
Yes.
property line is about 8 foot inside that fence line.
So in order to actually change it, it needs to be surveyed for.
That's the tree right there.
We're not worried about that, we're worried about the property itself. I mean, not what they're gonna do on it right now.
Are we gonna go back into the property line?
The property line is the property.
It's not the city's problem if you sell it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
project.
there's a deed on the assessors have a deed authority.
Okay, let's bring this back to council discussion. Mike, thoughts?
Been too quiet. Yeah.
Ted, thoughts?
I'm not in favor of selling it right now.
I would at least like to go down and look at it and see what exactly we're selling.
It's just basically where that fence comes, triangle that.
Here's the shape.
Pull it up on the website.
It
I
is.
did.
Okay, so with that property line, where's the fence?
Well, I don't think we have to worry about the fence. The fence is already on somebody else's property. If we're selling the property,
That's what we're selling.
you're selling what it is. And if you need to get it surveyed off, that ought to go to the cost of the person buying it, I think.
But we're not, I mean.
Well, and the whole reason this was brought up was that property, so. Where the fence is.
I don't have a problem selling it, it's just one less thing the city's gotta deal with, so. If you get a little bit of money out of it, well. You don't know what they're gonna do on it, maybe they just plop some trees on it. I'm just saying.
Like I said, I would just assume wait out this trail thing goes through because it's right beside the trail.
I don't see how that's gonna affect you.
It'd be a good place to put a kite on. Back behind the trees.
Oh, that'd be worth it, man.
Kite on.
What you said?
You got
Kite
this,
on.
Snow cone shack.
I mean, you got the city property, the sheds, if you wanna do that, right next door. Just saying, I mean, I don't see us as doing that anyway, so, but.
Yeah, there's that in September, October.
Or I mean, is there a motion to do something right now? It's whatever.
That's what I'm gonna fall.
Got one to say.
So it's vetoed until fall.
When it's fall, August, September, October.
Galloway used to live.
What am I supposed to do where?
We
Yeah,
have one.
actually.
When we've got like we're good now, right?
You need a motion.
Property tax on.
Oh, we just, we don't have to, just didn't take it.
So, aren't we want to sell this property, so I have a new lawyer already? Because that's what we were waiting on originally.
My neighbors.
For the new lawyer, that was a couple months ago, we said they're gonna wait on like 4 or 5 months on that lawyer. So why are we waiting on?
That's on the Dubuque Street.
Right, but why, he's asking why we can't get the attorney.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I just ain't in favor of selling that right now. That's me.
No, that's fine.
You get everybody.
I'm saying the other ones.
Boy, I don't care. So I just said right at the moment, that I'm not in favor of selling.
He's asking
I'm in
Dubuque
favor of
Street.
selling Dubuque Street, so.
That's what he's asking.
Why are we waiting?
Since we have a new lawyer.
I'm really asking a general question on all 3 lots we have, but even Butte Street, why wait at this point?
I don't know that we need to wait on that. We haven't had our lawyer discuss any of that with us. I mean, that's what we did before. We had a lawyer, and our new lawyer hasn't had anything to do with it yet, so
No, exactly, we were just
we
waiting.
may need to find out what how, because we've never sold any lot as far as the town, as far as I know. So you gotta get somebody that knows something about it.
I would like his opinion on
So when?
on Dubuque Street
That's the
especially.
question. When do you want the attorney? I mean, so I can call him and say, are you available August, September, October? Is there a specific meeting you would like him to be here for?
Next month.
If he's free.
Next month, we'll talk about
Yeah,
something.
I would say next month.
Okay.
Do the
First
church
part
property
to
to do.
do.
Yeah, because that one, tell me again about that. You've gotta have a new water line
Gotta
run.
run a new water line.
Or a water line under the road.
And we don't have any idea how much that's gonna cost, right? So we made for the new water line, and it's gonna cost us way more than we even think about getting out of the property.
Correct.
So why again do we have to be responsible for that? And not the new
Because we
people?
have.
There's no water on the property.
We have
The
water.
water
To
was
the curb stop.
The water went
Not
from-
curb stop.
To the
To,
working
park.
for street.
to the old house.
But we have to have that to sell by ordinances.
Well, somebody builds a basement out there, they're gonna lose their water.
Because they would pay to do it, right?
Huh?
Then they would pay for it, right?
Who?
Whoever did it.
No.
No, we have to provide them a
That's
curb
what I'm
stop.
You
asking.
gotta,
That's
you
what I'm
gotta
trying
try
to
to
understand.
get water at that
That's
house.
what I'm trying to
So
understand.
all we have to do is provide them a curb stop.
Which
We
is
don't
at their
have-
house.
Okay.
Which if anybody's got any ideas on who might possibly do that. The last person I tried to contact, never called me back, but that was 5 years ago.
Does Shoppy do that?
Who?
Shoppy?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Because we're on the state street.
Or is under the road.
The last call.
Okay, so is this what I'm hearing, that we'll discuss it at the August meeting with the attorney? Is that,
Sounds good to me.
consider purchase of a pickup for fire department grass rig. Ben, you want to discuss this?
What you wanna know? It's gonna be somewhere between 47 and 58. The longer we wait, the more slim picking it's gonna be. So then the discussion is then, since the city's taking the old truck, and the city will eventually end up with this truck, is it on the entire shoulders of the fire department to pay for the truck?
And you said 47,000?
47 to 58, depending on if we get stuck with a single cab, 4-door, depending on what's left, what's available.
Do you have anything located yet?
We've got a white single cab, we've got a 4-door, a 4-door.
What do you think we need?
Actually, the 4 doors would actually be a help to the department, but if we would cut out this one, it's not that big of a deal, it's whatever's available, whatever we can get,
And the 4-door would be the 58.
58.
So why are you needing a new one? No,
It's not, it's Darwin wants a new truck.
That's
But it makes
back
more
to
sense.
that conversation we had months ago.
Right, so it's, makes more relative sense to actually provide the department with a new truck that's reliable, that starts every time without question, because you've already had the older Ford not start on call. You do have that, no problem.
What has to be done to the current truck to make it operable for the city?
That don't work.
Get him with your tractor, with the fork on it, pull the skid out of that, pull the lights off of it.
Shut the
Does it have to have any work done to it, I mean, for the
No,
light and all that?
No, we had to
Oh,
fix
we
it.
You
It's
just
just-
have to put the stuff off the city truck on it.
Yeah, so other than just simply pulling our stuff off and swapping it, nothing. Mechanically, it's fine, it's just, it's old enough to question now why it's in any start.
What year is it?
99,
Maybe I don't know.
10,000,
And,
it's actually 99. It might be a 2,000.
Let's say it's a 2,000.
About 10,000.
The insurance says 2,000.
2,000.
As far as paying for it, I suggest that the road use tax fund, since it's just used for snow, pay for some of it, general pays for some, whatever the value of that truck would be, to put towards the new fire truck. Because if Darwin got a different truck, or they'd have to pay for it out of that, so. The fire reserve is at $35,000. So I don't know.
Will be
Any
idea
ideas
what
what the
that's,
old ones were?
I can Google it, I don't know.
It's got new tires, doesn't it?
It has brand new tires. Should wait on that one.
so what you're kind of needing is 13,000, more or less.
To get the two of them.
If we can get the single cab, yeah.
Why, 23,000.
That's an F-350. Is that-
That's actually the Triton V10, so I don't know what it would actually be considered, because that was, it's not actually an F-series truck.
I was thinking it showed up on the insurance as F.
Yeah, I think
It's most likely a
it's supposed to be a
350.
350.
It would have to
Your
be.
regular
One
one. V8. V10.
Four-wheel drive.
Cassette. Does it have a
I
cassette?
think that would have to be good.
Oh, that's fine. Car seats at all. Carrying doors.
Steps. So, yeah.
Towing package.
Yep.
Premium wheels or steel.
Just
There is no price on, what is the fire car?
Very good.
Yeah, perfect stretch on.
Didn't ask me for the miles. Oops, this is $4,000.
I kind of figured that's where it's gonna go. Just, it's at that age.
Change the
I mean, you could probably, if you're gonna outright sell it, you can probably list it for 8, you get some.
mileage. Change the mileage and it jumped to 9.
Yeah.
What did you come up with?
9,000.
9,000.
Thoughts?
So how much is it gonna end up costing the city then for toll, I mean, how much money will we have to get?
You completely empty the fire, right?
If you had completely empty it, you'd need $12,000 more dollars.
Hmm?
Pardon?
They're just saying.
Minus the 9 would be $3,000. If we took all of their because they're just giving us so much.
But they, we got 35,000, right? And this is gonna cost 58? That's
Well, the 2 doors, 47.
The 2 doors, 47.
Okay,
So
you're
if-
doing the
If
two.
we get the door, yeah,
Gotcha.
what, 51 tactile license on the door?
Should be intact.
Oh, no, in the city.
12,000?
Right, well, probably 13 by the time they get there.
So you're getting the city truck for $12,000.
I'm getting out of the truck for $12,000.
An old truck.
Yeah,
An old
yeah.
truck.
So what happens to the city truck that we have now? Are we keeping that? Are we getting rid of it?
Get rid of it.
So
We're
they're
gonna
So we'll put it up for
bids.
sale.
Okay.
how many miles is that going from here?
20. They're hard miles.
Which these will be hard too. On that fire truck.
That'd be better.
How do we want to move forward with this? So what are you recommending, Christie's?
Road use tax, fund paid.
56.
9,000 is pretty cheap for the town to buy a truck.
Yes.
I mean, I know that's what, whatever Kelly Blue Book says, but I would think, you know, we could take a little more out of the road
And
use
take,
tax.
well, and take some of it out of the general. Take 9 out of road use tax and the rest out of general. We'll get some back for that other truck.
And even if single cab is gone, then we'll just,
And if you sell the other one, that can go towards it also. If we sell the old one, it can go towards it also.
So it's 58 for the other one. Just tell them they have to sell you the single.
right,
Where is it at, you know?
thank you.
Have you seen it?
I see the red one and I saw the 37 in front of the white one on mine.
So otherwise, it's the 25,000. And then minus the 9.
16 in the general.
How long will them prices
6,000
be
under
for?
general.
Those are sticker prices. Those are sticker prices. So going in and saying
16.
for
If you got 25, you're taking 9.
fire service, we might be able to get a
16
couple grand discount and save us, but that was sticker price.
That's
So that, they weren't priced for a fire department.
Right.
So what did we come up with, how much we taken from road?
They don't have any pricing for fire departments, I know the city's getting discounted.
9.
And then how much from general?
GM does,
It'd be
4,000
Three.
for the
been a while since I
47.
checked it.
Right, 4,000 for the two.
Order it, or
For
we
16
just,
for the.
I write off a lot, I don't remember, I'll look into that one. But if it's a sticker price or whatever bonus we get, or whatever cut rate we get, it's just makes it easier enough. I've never actually checked on what they gave us.
I'll take it from another discount.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say, yeah, it's like, even at the school, then we buy vehicles there, we get a big discount.
Yeah, big one. And that's actually, Donnie checked into that first, and unfortunately, even when we started this, we're behind the 8 ball. Because you, at the time we started looking, you should have had your order into action, purchase that. So we're already behind the 8 ball, we're already way late.
So then is this something we should start after the first of the year?
So, yeah, next time we do this, yeah, we definitely need to do it like October. And start getting in touch with them, seeing what the rate is, seeing what the cost is, yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is in the schools too, they get it, there's a cut off, like, they build so many and.
Yep, and that's the whole deal. That's what I'm thinking right now. Or we can buy a truck from their bed, and get a fire department again. Not unless you want to.
So if we wait, we could save
I would,
several $1,000s, huh?
I would think so.
If we wait until October, yeah.
I suggest we wait.
Things like,
What are they telling us, like, if you order one in October,
yeah,
2 years?
oh, no, the wait isn't that long anymore.
Okay.
They've caught that.
Okay.
It would probably be 2-3 months, I would imagine.
Well, in your opinion, do you think we'd be okay to wait until October and
That's a question for him. He's the one who's
Yes.
got the truck
Okay.
that doesn't steer well.
just get it before the snow flies?
Don't get so wide, still got the plow
Okay. And do we need to do anything with their truck to get,
on. Same truck.
so all we gotta do is move everything over to the other truck?
They're the same year?
Same.
Got it at the same time.
That was
So,
lost funds,
do I then get in touch with them and actually get a quote? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-made purchase order,
I-
so that we can move forward with it in 2-3 months?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
So are you going to work Sherry Dodge?
Chevy or GMC, either one. I hear about a home one.
Okay, so, we're gonna wait until October and Ben's gonna move forward with that.
Okay,
Okay?
I'll get them the lock-in price. Let's see which is cheaper, municipal or fire department.
All right?
Awesome.
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks.
Okay, next is the discussion on the tree. Before we move into this discussion, I just want to clarify something. Janet Bright called me and indicated that John and Janet were going to take down the tree and pay for it. There was no mention that the city would pay for the tree. They simply asked if the tree could come down, and they told me they would pay the cost of the tree. So I just want to clarify that before we move forward. I did not tell them that the city would pay for taking down the tree. So now we can have a discussion on the tree.
I also got a sheet here that says, where the tree ends on the street side, so they can see it too. And Mike saw the hole where they done the stump.
This is on ordinance 195.
195 to
Is it dead or is it?
135.
135 cents.
But it also needs to be, the city can't just spend money on it. This is,
135, right?
Yep.
It's one that's been going.
I guess my other comment would be that, as you all know, we would have needed bids to take a tree down, just like we get bids for everything else.
And several people asked me about the price, and I told them what the price was. And they said, well, that's way cheaper than I thought it would be.
So we got how much it was to take it down?
He's got his check.
Huh?
He's got his- you can do a copy of his check.
How much was it, John?
How much was it?
$1,200. That was taking a tree down, cleaning up everything. And that was also, taking the stuff out, grinding the stuff out. And they cleaned up all the shavings too. And the hole, where the stump was, is still there. No dirt in it yet.
Well, what I read in the ordinance, it looks like it's the city's responsibility to take that tree down, but it's also, should have been the city's responsibility to put it up for bid for somebody else. If we decide to pay for this, we're not gonna let people take trees down and we're gonna pay for it.
Well, several people told me that this guy that did it was by far better than the other ones.
In John's defense.
No, I'm not arguing who did it or what. I'm just saying, if you wanted the city to take any trees down, if you think they're on the city's property, the city should be the one taking care of that, hiring the people and doing whatever. But this one's already done, so this is a little bit different.
I went to town and got this printout on the property line, and the guy told me then, he went and got it to me and showed, and he said, well, where that tree was, it's on city property.
Yeah, and the city should have taken it down, John, not you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
The last time John brought this up to the city, Darwin adamantly denied responsibility of the city, and you guys were all too eager to move on with the conversation.
That was brought up at a city council?
That was brought up
I don't remember John.
5 months. I think that was just the last council when he came up talking about the water or something.
I don't remember that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if you have a tree that's dead on city property, that you think's on city property, then it's the city's, according to our ordinance we have, it's the city's responsible to take it down. So they do the bid, have somebody bid on it, and they decide who takes it down. So I think I don't know what we're gonna do with this one. But what I'm saying, in the future, if somebody's gonna take down a tree and send the town a bill, I don't think that's a good thing.
And I also don't think it's a good thing for you all to call and tell me you're gonna pay the bill and then give it back to the city.
Right now, being you're complaining about that, where I paid $1,200 to have it down, if you send me a check for $1,000 and I donate it to $200, then let's just forget it.
And the tree's been dead for 2 years, clearly presenting a liability.
I would like this ordinance rewritten. The abutting property owner shall not be required to remove diseased trees or dead wood on publicly owned property or right of way. That's all it says. It doesn't say the city is responsible for this, bids need to be taken. I think we need that.
But also doesn't say the owner is responsible either.
No.
That's what I agree.
It shall not be required, yes. But I think that needs to be put in there. If the city's responsible, the city needs to be responsible.
Then I think it ought to be responsible that if they plant trees on the city property.
Well, that's another thing.
That's
That's another ordinance that needs to be taken care of. No planting trees on the verge.
That our new lawyer will know what to
Yeah.
put in there.
Yes.
We're hoping, that's why we're gonna switch lawyers.
Yes.
And several people also told me when I told them what it was to take it down, they said, well, that's a lot cheaper than some of the other ones will do it for me. So there you go.
I'm not arguing your price, John, I'm not arguing. I'm just arguing that you need, if you thought it was on the city's property, is the city responsible to take it down? This one's already taken down, this is a different thing. But I don't want people going and hiring people to take down trees and then coming in here and thinking the city's gonna pay for it.
But this sheet of paper I got here tells you where the tree was on the property line.
I know that. I'm not arguing about where the tree was or how it was done. If it's as responsible of the city, then the city is responsible to take the tree down. Not the owner telling somebody, go ahead and take it down, and then you say that's the city's responsibility.
Well, one thing that got me concerned about it was, I got up one morning when we had that doggone wind, there was a couple branches laying out there on the road. And I got up about 6:30, and I got up, and I went and hauled them branches off of the road to the burn pile.
All that is real good, John, you did a good job.
Okay, what's the thoughts on this discussion?
Well, I think we need to discuss it with our attorney before this gets out of hand, but looks to me like they need to pay John for that tree.
I had one taken down.
Was it on the verge?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
it-
they're all free.
Yeah, and I'm just curious on the thought process on how this reads that we should have to pay.
Well,
I just read it more like, we are responsible if he had brought it to us to do.
well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but we're not responsible since he.
But I think if we had discussed that, if John would have come to us and we'd have discussed that, that's the way it would have got done.
Well, and also the fact that he offered to pay.
Well, that's between you guys, I didn't hear it. I'm just saying, like, you're saying you think we should pay him back? That's just not how I'm reading it, I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying, this one was done not in the order it should have been done for the town. Just like if Darwin had one taken down, he didn't come to the city, but we thought the ordinance read, that's our bad, or I thought, anything on that parking is the owner's responsibility, but it's not. And we found out it's not, so you think we shouldn't have to pay anything for that? I mean,
I guess just the way I'm reading is he should have had us pay the bill right off
Yes.
the bat, so since he paid it, we don't have to pay him back.
Oh, I'm not seeing that.
I mean, I'm just not maybe misunderstanding this, but I think you're gonna open up a can of worms of people just cutting down trees.
Everybody want one down.
that's why I'm telling you, we need to get it figured out and stop now. I'm just saying, if you think you got a tree on the parking, bring it to the town's attention, and we'll decide whether we take it down or not. What's that?
When I read the ordinance, it sounded to me like we were responsible for that tree. You're allowed.
Well, we are, but we was also responsible for hiring somebody to take it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
And this one was already taken down.
that's what I'm trying to understand.
So, I think this will be a good, well, I think it'll be a good thing to bring up to the lawyer when we bring up to
Put
the
that on.
other stuff.
Okay, so,
Can I throw in that we did an ordinance on that? No trees planted? Okay, thank you, yeah, thank you.
I think to answer to you, John, is we're not telling you we're not paying you. We're gonna check into it a little further. Is that okay?
Well, also, one person said, well, if they're gonna argue about it, just go and call the state office in Des Moines. They can help you out too.
I'm not saying we're telling you we're not paying for it, but I just want in the record that people can't just up and hire somebody, take down a tree and expect the city to pay for it.
Well, I just went and did it like I
I
was told.
understand what you did, it was fine. What you did, you got rid of the tree, limbs were falling, I understand that, but we're not gonna do it for everybody in town.
okay, so let's table this until the August meeting when the attorney is here. Relook at the ordinance and go from there. So John, we're gonna table this tonight until August meeting. Resolution 2408, transfer of funds, Kristen.
Come on. Come on.
Every year we
So you
transfer,
gotta come to the next meeting.
it's been set up longer than I've been around. What's left of the fire department funds and first responders funds that they cannot spend of their $20,000 budget, goes to the reserve fund. The fire department spent all of their money this year, so they have none to transfer. First responders have $5,681.92 to go to their reserve fund. And sometimes we've taken funds from the lost account and put into different funds, like that's how we started our nuisance abatement fund. And the siren generator fund, that's how we started those. I don't know that we necessarily need to transfer anything. If anybody else sees different, then that's fine. Or if we've got, want to put so much of it Then there's $20,000 to put towards the from the sewer sinking fund into that loan. And that's like a year and a half's worth of payment, principal payment, so, yeah. Be nice to get that paid off before it's some work, major work. So, if anybody wants to transfer funds for the community building upgrade, ballpark figure, or we don't have to. Those section 3 and 4 can just be left at 0, not applicable. So.
First responders, how much have they spent this year? Do you have an idea? Just a wild guess.
$14,318.08.
Very specific.
It's on the back.
Oh,
Not on the back.
oh,
There you go.
okay.
Their reserve fund is gaming. They've got lots of funds sitting there. So if their truck does blow up for some reason, then they've got funds to purchase a different one. Or if they got a big piece of equipment that they're wanting, like they've been brought up that that automated CPR thing. I have no idea how much that is, but you've got
I think 30,000.
$60,000 sitting there. You know, that could be spent on it.
Their bathroom remodel.
I don't think it's gonna be
I mean, but
that much.
well, with that.
So. Anyway,
So you think that first responder reserve of 8,900 should get us through the rest of the year, barring any?
oh, that's just their funds that they can use for capital improvements.
Okay, okay.
They started a long time ago, so when the departments needed a new truck, then they actually had money there. And plus it kept guys from like, oh, it's April, May, we still have $10,000. Let's go spend every penny of it because we've got it. And that's slowed that down considerably. I did that in one other town, and it's like, oh, well, that's a good idea. And then they quit spending their money on stuff they really didn't need.
So the siren generator, we used to have 8,240.
And we may have some,
Do they got that
some
up
we
and
have.
running?
Kim just came back from vacation, so I wasn't sure. She wasn't sure where ours was sitting.
Oh, it's gonna be tested tomorrow.
Yeah. There was one town that wasn't ready.
So
Ours should be fine.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. What if we take that 568192 and divide it between firemen and first responders? Destroy it.
Firemen, they spend on it.
We spend a lot of money, that's first responders.
First responders.
That's for
That's
them to either
first
put in a
responders,
CD or
Oh,
for a truck.
gotcha.
And there's been lots of years that the fire department hasn't spent much. But they've caught up on some stuff they needed to update and so. And the way stuff's going up, probably next year we'll need to give them a bigger budget.
So we don't really need to do nothing here?
Just approve to transfer those two things. If you don't want to do anything else, that's fine.
I'll make a motion to transfer this.
Okay, there's a Ted made motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Pam seconded. So we're voting on resolution 24, transferring money. Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam?
Yes.
Devin? Approve the village inn certificate. Is there a motion to do so?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? All right. Motion second, roll call, Craig? Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam?
Yes.
Devin? Motion carried. Sidewalks. We got a note from the attorney, Mr. Hillers, that the Iowa Supreme Court issued a ruling that Iowa cities are now liable for maintaining sidewalks. This does not change the law related to snow and ice removal. The city still may require property owners to remove snow and ice via the local ordinance. The ruling invalidated any ordinance that makes the property owner liable for injuries that result from defects in the sidewalk. The city is now potentially liable if someone is injured due to a defective condition in a sidewalk. We still have the ability to repair and replace the defective sidewalks and charge back to the property owner as an assessment. So he is suggesting that we have a discussion at some point in time on sidewalk repairs. We should look at our sidewalks in a town and identify clearly defective sidewalks, and then discuss sending a notice to the property owner ordering the repair. If the owner does not complete the repair in a reasonable time, then in the council's discretion, we would have the sidewalk repaired and assess the cost to the property owner.
That's gonna be money, spending, or
So the sidewalks, are they on city property?
No, the property owner is responsible.
They're responsible to pay for it, but we're responsible, it sounds like, to say, oh, we need to fix it.
For sidewalk fix.
So, but that's just it, how many sidewalks do we have in town? So, my first thought was, let's just go there.
A lot of sidewalks.
That's what the,
I just
that's
drove
the church,
around.
I mean,
I just drove around and looked at sidewalks.
It's covered up.
yeah.
I gotta
Now you're gonna cover your.
I gotta come all the way up from Target. That's
And how many blocks has a sidewalk? There's a whole block.
So anyway, let's discuss this with Mr. Billers when he comes to the August meeting. All right, library contract.
Our contract with the Conrad Library is expired. We pay them, it increases 3% every year. We're still under $2,000. I heard, just from one library that the suggested price for those that are contracted is $10 per population number, that's from the census. So that would make $2,900 that the city should be spending. Union's library, she says 22 people from town go over there. She would like some funds. We
What's
could
this
just,
located down there, that part of the school?
No,
that's not part of
nothing to do with.
There's
the
nothing to do with the
library.
private libraries. We can amend the budget, so if they increase it and give some to Union and some to Conrad, we can leave it as is with Conrad. We increase it 3% a month, a year. I think last year we paid $1,800 and something.
To Conrad.
To Conrad.
So if you do something, you can make contracts, change anything as far as how it's used or how people use them.
No,
So what if we give $1,000 to each one?
that would be lower than how much we spend. Something Conrad. I would hate to do that to Kate when the budget year started. I usually pay her in July.
So do we know how many have used Conrad? I mean, you said Union said 22.
I didn't think to ask Kate that. I have seen several residents over there, and there's one family in town, seems like every time I go in there, which at times is once a week, they're always there. I don't know. They said they use it. We use it over. So,
How much do we pay Union?
nothing.
How much should they contract?
Conrad, it was 18 and something.
And
last
Union,
year.
nothing.
And it's, the other contracts is 3% a year in Conrad. You know, we could even just give her $220 for the 22 people. Or give her $500.
But not more Conrad.
And not more Conrad. You know, if people are using it and not And Sue was happy to take whatever we give her. So. Here do you have his for the contract, and then I can bring it to the next meeting to approve, send it to them and see if that's favorable on
I think they
Maybe
favored
contracts.
what amount we do.
Well, so,
Dictate to you, that's all.
Thoughts on this? Leave it like it was? Increase it? Give union a little?
Well, 3% for Conrad is like $54,
yeah.
so that part I'd say is okay. But if we have people using unions, we probably should.
So what if we give Union $250?
Sounds good to me.
Union 250 and what, to Conrad?
19?
Do we want to increase it?
1850.
Union does a year, an annual contract, and Conrad, it's a 5-year contract, just so we don't have to mess with it every year.
You can request a 5-year from union, or? Is that what you're saying?
I'll try.
A 5-year?
From Union, I've tried with.
So what'd you say,
her
what'd you
board
say
is
for
a-
Conrad?
How much, well, it's
1854.
1854. Okay.
Well, that's about what I paid last year, is 1,800 and something.
Oh,
So I can just keep the contract at 3% increase every year. And then just start with the increase that we have.
Perfect. Okay, so it's a
And Union where you're gonna check on 5-year?
Well, I'll try, her board's not excited about long term.
Okay, so if the 5-year doesn't float,
Well, just how much? I mean,
250?
250 a year.
250, okay?
Okay. Then she'll probably just sit it back at 250 next year.
So you'll get that right for the next meeting.
Next meeting.
All right. Increasing Deb Gould's building cleaning pay. We did not do anything with her when we did, increases. She's contract labor, not salary or hourly.
How much is your hourly rate right now?
1575.
that's our hourly.
What's the going rate on something like that?
People clean houses for $20 to $30 an hour. Varies from there,
Depending on how many
3 or 4 hours. If there's something every weekend, she'll have 4 hours.
for the month.
And right now she makes what?
75. She buys her supplies and turns bill in.
So what if we raise it up to meet the $18?
She pays her own social security. The rest of it's phone.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Well, we get down in 12%, I was just trying to figure out what that would be.
Well, I think. Well, it's 1575 times.
17 something.
350 would be.
That's pretty critical if your building doesn't look good.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
She's done a very good
Excellent job.
And social security is how much?
7%.
Percent?
7.45.
So that's $1 out of every 15 that she makes, she's gonna pay social security.
Thoughts?
20.
That's what I said.
Is there a motion to increase Deb's pay to $20 per hour?
I'll make a motion.
Ted? Pam, second. Roll call vote, Craig?
Yep.
Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam?
Yep.
Okay. Fireworks ordinance, any discussion on this? What are your thoughts?
I don't think this is needed, we already go by the state law and stuff. We're not enforcing it as well, so I just don't think you're gonna. People wanna be annoying or be rude at all hours of the night, they're gonna do it anyways.
I also would like to commend the town because I thought we had extremely controlled fireworks and,
I never heard of that.
and I thought we did extremely well compared to other years.
I agree with you.
I mean, other years it's been really noisy and it wasn't terrible. So, any other thoughts on this? We'll follow the state law.
That's what we've done in the past.
Liscomb law.
You all in agreement with that? Follow state laws? Okay. New business, nuisances. Any nuisances? Okay. Community building update, Mike.
I will put you got a bid on the lowering the lights, correct?
I didn't bring it. Did you bring it?
No.
Oh, shoot. It was $2,000 and some dollars
Yeah.
to lower the light. It wasn't, oh shoot, I didn't bring it.
So we can get the acoustic
Should we
ceiling.
table that until next month?
It was, the lowering the lights was very reasonable
Okay.
compared to everything.
Got to tore down.
Yeah.
It was like 2,100, 22. Do you have it on your phone?
And they use the same,
Uh-huh.
They just don't
They just
They're just gonna lower.
The sprays and the 3/4
well,
inch.
we need that one replaced, we know that. Ding, 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 ding.
Depends.
Fan?
I think everything.
He tried to start it back here, and it's got ding, 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 ding.
I think Michael pulled it up on his phone. I'm sorry, I didn't bring that.
But we also have to talk about the opposite ways too, right? Is that part of this discussion?
We need to talk about if we could get the painter here and get going on painting.
Well, I didn't want to paint until we get.
Till we do the ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Till the ceilings.
So you gotta figure out, I think, what you want to do with the opposite.
I got the,
What?
I got the acoustical board, I put it here on the wall.
You do have some?
Yeah,
You found it?
yeah, I got 4 sheets of it.
Oh, so you can do some of this repair work?
Yeah,
Hey, on the worst panels?
yeah.
And since you're talking about the community building, I have a question. I went up to visit Angie Oakham yesterday, and she has a 7-foot by 4-foot, I don't even know what to call it. It's the Iowa flag with the wording under it. Don't know where it came from. It appears to be old. Would we be interested in, I mean, it's too big, but if we could fold it down and buy a frame, would you be interested?
Find it?
First, we have to look at it first, see how big it is.
7 by 4. I already measured it. No, we don't want it that big, Snowball, that's not what I'm saying.
Let's go back to this since Mike found it.
Yes.
What is the bid on that?
The bid is $1,123.
And what does it say to lower
It
lights?
says lower the lights, the ceiling fans, the vapor tight fluorescent fixtures. Yeah, it doesn't say like the vents. With the fans and the lights.
So I guess I need to go back to him and ask about the
Well,
vents.
they're probably gonna do that without the vapor.
Heating and cooling.
Yeah, like 3/4.
How much was the bid for the 3/4 inch?
The 3/4 inch is $14,807.89 for the 3/4 inch spray.
14 coming in.
807, I'm sorry, 807.99. And then this is 21, 23.53.
bit less, the painting bill will be a bit less because we're not painting the ceiling.
So the stuff they put up doesn't need any paint.
You can get it in the color, you can color it any color you want, so, because they wouldn't be able to paint it.
So it'll cover the whole ceiling.
You can do the whole ceiling, everywhere in here.
My question, I guess, about that is, so we put it up and we come down on the boards, 3/4 of an inch. But then we think we need wall boards eventually, hypothetically. So now we got a gap all the way around the edge.
No, just cut it.
Cut what? The boards that are already there?
Yeah. Just cut it, put the big jump on.
Are we getting any closer to moving forward on this or not?
Yeah, I mean, what else we're gonna do, try to get this sound. Yeah, a lot.
I need a bid to drop those first before we bring in something.
So is that the heating and cooling guys?
I'm sure that's it.
Who is that, Darwin?
Be the ductwork.
Who's the heating and cooling people?
You use Cron Brown, you use your.
Well, we use
No,
somebody
oh,
else on
Oh,
honesties. All right.
I don't know. About what you're not
Okay, so we'll contact Honest Heating and see about what the cost is gonna be to do the vents. Then maybe by August we can move forward, hopefully. Okay, anything else?
I'll make sure that we're gonna call these guys and
Oh,
make sure
yeah,
they're busy.
our bid is our bid price.
I mean, it's been over 30 days, so. The way everything goes is gonna go up, I'm sure.
That can't be, lower than bids can't be a lot of money, is something that we have to have a bid for, or we just get them to come do it. I mean, what do you got, how many, 1, 2, 3, 4,
They gotta add just a piece of ductwork.
5,
And they can-
6?
They can tape around those, 3/4 of an inch, isn't gonna, I don't know whether that would look bad anyway. You mean around the vents?
When was that bid, when's that good, we gonna leave that price?
When did we have this? This was May 24th. That's when I got that bid.
Maybe, you never know.
I mean, we might hold this price.
No, I haven't
talked to him for a while, just saying we didn't have the council.
Thoughts?
But I don't think you know, like, back when 3/4 of an inch. No. And they just said they'd tape around those and they spray it on, it's a really spray.
Is this stuff sprayed on, is that?
Sprayed on.
Oh, I think they could tape around them
Yeah.
and taper it down.
Yeah. That's what we talked about, that's what we talked about.
We need to just see if that price still holds up.
I mean, if we made a motion to get it approved, I would talk to them then, I guess it was drastically higher, we just have to talk.
Are you making that motion?
I will make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion, state it again.
Make a motion to approve the 3/4, sauna spray, acoustic spray, and.
And the light,
And the lights from.
and you seconded the motion?
Second.
Okay. Roll call vote. Craig?
Yeah.
Ted?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pam?
Yeah.
Deb? Okay. Liberty and Liscomb, I would just like to, say a big thank you to the committee, Pam and Marlene Bonzer and Michelle Shebel. Junior did a spectacular job with the fireworks. Darwin and Lance, thanks for putting up the flags, mowing, and doing a host of other things. Snowball helped set up tables, Ted and Bonnie orchestrated the Ted did the parade, and they helped with the ice cream. Devin and Michelle did the playground dedication, and the games at the park. Mike helped with traffic control, And he and Diane provided bars. Pam helped with the pie auction, bingo, and the prizes for bingo. And bars were donated by Diane Hayes, Red Davis, Brady Brownies, Alicia Matney, Betty Hagedorn, Marlene Bonzer, Marie Fiscus, and Esther Mosier. There were 47 of the Case family on 2 hay racks, and over 60 members of the Case family here. So that was pretty amazing. So here's a breakdown of expenses, and you can, the sponsorship, there were 31 sponsors, which generated $9,987. Income from supper was $2,443.20. Pam's pie auction raised $550, and total income was $12,980.20. Total expenses were $7,419.10 for a net income of $5,561.10, which included $550 from the pie auction. And you can compare it to other years, 23, 22, and 21. So it was a great night, and I thank everyone who was involved. It was lots and lots and lots of people, lots of people.
I had a girl from Union came over and helped me with bingo, and she walked outside, and her eyes popped out of her head. She said, I have never saw a town this clean after as many people as you had in this place. So I know Darwin, Snowball helped clean up the streets, but yeah, if you walked out here, you would never know that something like that happened.
I didn't even have the garbage bag much more.
You
Like,
what?
had the garbage bag cleaned up.
It was, I mean, it was good. She
The
said,
building was clean, we
Yes.
cleaned up just a little bit before it got bombed, but it was,
yes, it went very well, very
for
well.
as much ice cream as there was, it was hardly sticky, so. I'd like to request 2 bills. Ed Perry, we owe $450 for ice cream, and my bill is $1,063.03. But before we pay that, I'll have Christie run through it and double check it all. So if we could get a motion to pay those 2 bills from the Liberty Fund. Oh, they're on the back of here. Oh, they're included on that? Okay. So that's taken care of? Okay. Any other on that? I should just thank the sheriff for having a car in the parade. That was really great. That was really nice. We had a lot of new parade entries. Innovative Ag Services out of Union. We had the Albion baseball team, which was great. The other thing that was super fun was the amount of kids that ate supper. That was really, really cool. Really great.
And I had somebody make a comment on that. They said, this playground equipment over here, they really questioned putting that in. But they said, if you saw the amount of kids that were over there playing on that, you wouldn't question it either. So that was one.
Mosquito spraying, anything on that? You need to do it again.
Didn't do anything right down.
It doesn't usually.
I have had.
I don't have one.
You have to see my bug zappers every day.
Do you have mosquitoes, Ted?
I just noticed a few this morning, but not many.
Siren project, they're gonna test tomorrow. Darwin, will Shoppy get the ditch work done?
Huh?
Shoppy get the ditch work done?
When?
Okay,
Is that where all the flags are?
Yeah.
okay, any other old business?
I got a sump hole, a sinkhole in the yard that we found. It's going down, Rick's yard down here.
Who?
It'll finish the property.
Oh.
Out in the yard, I think it's a sewer line. But not, it's going.
Where's it at?
Down here, where Rolly Hensy live,
Yeah.
On the curve.
that, there, out in the middle of the yard, there's a sinkhole.
And sewer?
Well, I'm thinking it's sewer, because that's about where the house is at, backside of the house.
So we have to do about that.
Well, have to dig it up while you're here.
Was he gonna pay for it?
We are.
Why?
Well, how are you gonna pack it on a
Well, if it's the sewer line causing it, we should,
But if it's in the middle of the property, it's his line, it's not the city's line.
so it's not our main sewer line then.
No, it's lateral run off
It's a lateral line running from the property out to the other.
Yeah, how many more of that we
So
gotta
he
find
needs
to
to
get
have-
tapped up?
How come we didn't find that when we had this? Did they not,
This
did
just
they
all
not
went-
televise that,
I don't think we should start
that
that.
corner?
I don't think,
I don't think we should
This all of a
start,
sudden showed up here in the last month.
I don't think we should start that.
Okay, we'll just leave it go. I'll tell them to put a fence on it.
Is there any other business? Ben?
What's that?
Do you have anything on fire department?
No,
Okay.
we're good since last time.
Jordan?
Yes.
First responder.
Yeah, there's just a couple things I want to bring up. We had our state inspection on June 10th with the Iowa Department of Public Health, Health and Human Services. No deficiency, he was here less than 10 minutes, pretty much said hi, looked at the truck, checked a couple dates, he said we were good, we had all of our paperwork submitted, so every 3 years, so we're good for another 3 years.
Thank you, Jordan.
The other thing I wanted to talk about was kind of the bathroom remodel that kind of stemmed from the EMS meeting. We had talked about potentially seeing if the city would be open to us maybe remodeling the bathroom. We go on some calls that we might want to shower up or clean up after we're done with. So the shower that's in there now, I know Junior might have brought it up. If you guys haven't gone over there and seen it, it's in pretty bad shape. The shower does work, but the sink in the kitchen area comes out and brings the pipe straight across and dumps right into the shower. So
Oh, at the fire station.
at the fire station site, yes.
Fire station.
Yeah, so we thought about seeing if it was appropriate to just put a new shower in, put a light in there. We weren't wanting to spend a whole lot of money on it. But
Won't fit.
what won't fit?
A shower.
A shower, putting a new shower in there?
Yeah.
If you switch the water heater, if you put the water heater where the shower is, and the shower where the water heater is, the most expensive, difficult thing you have to do is just cut the concrete to run the line.
Fall, okay. If there's enough fall to get over to where it
There's
is.
just a dig, and you dig deep enough, you can cut the concrete.
Nothing out of the sewer.
So Jordan, once you get numbers,
Yeah, I don't have any numbers
Okay.
today. I was just I measured it tonight, so I
Yeah.
figured I'd get kind of a cost and say, here you go.
Yep.
We're gonna donate labor, so labor's not gonna be added on to there or anything. It's
so
just
go
pretty
ahead and
much
get those
stuff.
costs for the August meeting so that
Yep.
we can get rolling.
Absolutely, yep.
Okay, anything else?
The door lock I wanted to kind of talk about too. We got the door lock for the fire station in. I went to go put it in. I opened it up and it said that, I needed to call this certain number to get it registered first. As I went in depth and talking to him, he said that you have to have a subscription for it to have the app. So I don't think we necessarily want to go into that and have the subscription for it to have an app-based door lock. It's pretty sophisticated door lock. And when I talked to him at the beginning of it, before we ordered it, he said that there was no subscription cost, but this was a different person that said you have to have a subscription.
How much was that door lock, do you
It
know?
was like $700 or $800, somewhere around there, $700-$800, so.
So now we need a new door lock?
I
He's
think
gonna
we
try to
need,
send this back.
I think if we
told
send
him
this
about
back and get
Okay.
something different,
and talk to Jim.
yeah, yep, I think that would be appropriate, because I don't think there's any reason to pay yearly to have a phone application for the fire station.
Yeah.
We thought that it came in free with it, and that's what they sold us on, and so after we got into it, before we installed it.
And you can get a refund, right?
I don't know yet, I need to call them and find out, but that's, I would hope.
Yes, if they told us.
Since we haven't installed it, it hasn't been taken.
Oh,
off
you
the
haven't
box.
installed?
No, it has not been installed, because before you install it, you had to set up that subscription. That didn't work. So I'm glad I went through those steps first before we installed it. So it has not been installed or anything, so I think it's gonna take it back.
And I think Jim told us what did he tell? $600 or $700 to. I can't remember what it was. I think it was $600 or
So they're right in
$700.
the same range to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I think we go that direction would be more appropriate.
Anything else, Jordan?
I was gonna find a set screw or find a pin or something to see if we can get it fixed, so every time you type the code in and open the door, the handle comes off, so. Yeah, if that works to get us by until we get a new one. Yeah.
Well, and if we get this okay for Jim to do it, he said he's got it at home,
Oh, okay.
so.
Do we have a number or something, or some way to?
Yes, I do.
I do at home.
If you want to send that to me.
All right, so you're gonna work on door lock.
Yep, I'll work on getting that, and I'll.
Anything on streets and alleys?
Can I say something about that real quick? I know I'm not the person for that, but I've seen it for a while, but it was kind of bugging me when I was going around town the other day. I think it's Dusty Street, Washington.
Yes.
Yep.
Washington and State, there's that culvert. That's got the metal busted out of the top of it.
Probably mine, right on the corner.
No.
Mine does too.
Oh, okay, yours is too, but there's this culvert metal top is just completely busted out of it. I would hate to see a kid like step in that.
There's.
It's actually on the curb, the corner. I would
Where
really
you
like
run
to
over
see.
your lawn.
I do not run
Anyways, I would like
Because
to.
that's right on,
It's
our property
State,
field.
but no, it's across the corner to the south.
Where Joyce is.
That trail, that
Yeah,
culvert.
Yeah, that
Oh, it's there.
It's been busted for at least a year, I know that, I saw last year, but I would really hate to see a kid step in that or something. You're gonna get that. Yeah, if you could go look at it, I think that needs addressed before we end up somebody getting one. It's just the metal part there, so.
Okay, we need to look at the culvert at Washington and State Street. That's it, Joyce, I can't think of her name. Who? Larson? Parks, anything? Doesn't.
The only thing is, I think that opening went really well. I saw so many kids on that playground, so that was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, just seeing some activities, so there's nothing else really changed though, so.
Community building, we're gonna look at utilities in general, anything on that, Christie? Everybody okay?
Community building, I ain't got no hot water.
Huh?
I don't have no hot water.
What's wrong with you?
Huh?
What did he say?
He has
He doesn't
no
have
hot
hot
water.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what,
You already called somebody?
no, I turned the water on, I ain't got no water coming through my hot water line.
Okay.
Sanitation, oh, Ted, your report, your $300 and some report.
For what?
Sanitation,
That fits in your hand.
sanitation. That's your $300 report.
Looks like, May water usage was 373,000 gallons, average 12,000 per day. Water in compliance, schedule, DNR requirements. May flows were 774,000 gallons, average of 24,000 gallons per day. I think, I don't think it was 200,000.
Anything on that?
What was the flow on the sewer?
Wastewater flow totaled 774,000 gallons.
A day, or a week?
Average, no, that's a month, isn't it?
No.
Average was 24, I think 24,000 per day. It's got two, she's got an extra zero there, I don't know if they're wrong.
Okay, do we have, is that all right?
I'm good.
Are there any unanswered resident concerns?
I'd just like to say something, I guess, after hearing, our new lawyer's suggestion, you know. It sounds kind of like this lock company, really. All kinds of people looking for all kinds of ways to make money. You know, I can't imagine us going to get to a point where we're gonna go around nailing everybody for the replacement of their, or repair of their sidewalks, but, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if we need him window shopping for us for things to do around here, but that's my opinion.
But that was a state law
That's a
that
state
just got
law.
changed, right?
Yeah, state law. Case court case.
Court case?
It came from Supreme Court, issued a ruling that Iowa City. Is there, yes,
Can we take the sidewalks out?
I don't know, let's ask him when he comes in August. Yeah, I'd be in favor of that too. Before we make people put in new ones.
Mine's not gonna happen. I don't.
But that's not to say it's not gonna get there. I mean.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of charging people to improve sidewalks.
Well, and let me give you a for instance, I have a next door neighbor that has two big trees in the terrace, and his sidewalks go like this.
Well, our
So those trees are our problem.
Our threshold is bad.
Yeah, we've got,
It's okay.
Okay, anything else? Yes.
One final comment, I believe the newspaper headline will be, Liscomb City Council spends $30,000 plus on playground equipment, $10,000 plus on trails, but is hesitant to support fire safety equipment and first responder equipment. Last comment.
I don't know if I heard what you said there,
That
You said we
new-
don't-
that new equipment.
I know about the new equipment, I heard that, but then what did you say about the first responder?
And first responder equipment. I mean, that resuscitator is too expensive to consider, but, you know, 30 grand plus is okay for playground equipment. 10K is okay for a trail that none of us in this room will ever live to see.
you should have been here last month, Hank. There were several people that were very excited about that.
Oh, I sat on the board for 5 years and I was really excited about it too. And I'm
They're
still
getting-
excited.
They're getting closer
Yep,
What?
yep.
to getting that grant.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yeah.
Is there a second?
And